What's going on, everyone? How are y'all doing today? Hope you're doing fantastic. And in today's video, I'm going to show how I turned a 30-year-old HG into a master grade. Let's get into it. Oh, right. The mail's here. Come on, Maggie. Let's go get the mail. Woohoo! Yeah!
Hey, Mikey. Yeah? Want some pizza? Radical, dude. Hey, Kakarot.
What's up, Vegeta?
Today's the day I will finally defeat you.
Oh, right. Bring it on.
Everyone, back to your places. He's coming.
Oh, right. I can't wait to open this. Oh, look. We have another friend.
I hope they're strong.
I hope he's cute.
What?
DudeRetro toy reviews. Alright, and as you can see, here is my Gundam Maxter, all into pieces. I just finished putting the top coat on him just yesterday. I just finished putting the top coat on him, and I haven't put them together yet. So I have not even seen this kit fully assembled just yet. So y'all are actually going to see this kit fully assembled the same time I am, and I am so excited because I wanted to put the top coat on and I wanted to give it plenty of time to dry before I put it together. So I'm very excited, but also very nervous because I don't want to screw anything up by putting them back together. So hopefully this goes good. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put them together right now, and let's just hope that it goes well. All right, let's get into this. Oh my gosh. I did this. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but this is just so cool. Like, this is the first time that I've ever done anything like this before. Like, I've never built like anything. I've never done anything like this. I've just never done this. To do just something that's this cool. and like do it on my own. It's just amazing. Yeah, I've looked up plenty of guides on like how to top coat, how to airbrush, how to panel line, apply water slide decals. Like I've looked up so many, like, oh man, it's so cool. Like I've looked up so many guides, and I never thought that I would be able to do something like this, but I did it. I actually did this. I'm just blown away. Like I actually started to get a little emotional there, just knowing that this is something that I did on my own. Like this is something that I was able to do. It's just so cool to actually have this and know this is a one of a kind. Like there is no other model kit like this out there. Like this is the only one. And I did this. Like it's so awesome. I can't wait to go over everything and show y'all like what I did and how I did things. And I'm going to show all the tools, all the paints, everything that I did to make this thing a reality. So that way, if you want to look into doing something like similar to this, or if you just kind of want to see how I was able to do certain stuff, I definitely want to show that off, because I want other people to go out there and be creative and create their own stuff. This is just amazing. Like I am just blown away. So let me go ahead and get into the detail of this thing, and let's just get into it, because I am so excited. All right, let's get into it. All right, now let's go ahead and get into the detail of this thing. And so if you can't already tell, I use parts from the RX-178 Gundam Mark II. I had to look at the manual that I have over here for it. But yeah, so RX-178 Gundam Mark II. That is what I used for the arms, the waist, and the legs. Yeah. Let's take a good close look at this thing. This looks amazing. Like I absolutely am in love with this. Turn it around, trying to be a little delicate with it. Like I love this so much. Oh, right. And so oh man, I'm sorry, I just can't stop like just admiring this so much. It's so cool. And you do see some little mistakes that I've done, like right here. I didn't clean the paint up as much as I probably should. Right there, you see a little bit of it. Get it to focus. Same on this side, on that one, on that calf. There, that one looks good. Yeah, there's like some paint issues here and there, and there's some stuff with the panel lining, how it wasn't cleaned up completely perfect. But this was my first time doing any of this. This is my first time really painting like a Gundam. I've never done this. I did hand brush some stuff, but I also airbrushed as well. So a lot of this is completely brand new to me, and I just wasn't sure about like the techniques and stuff like that and what I wanted to do. And I was terrified once I like got the paint on. I was terrified, especially like in places like this where it's so close to the actual paint. I was terrified of like trying to get like the paint off and using the thinner to kind of wipe away where it's like a little over paint right there, and messing up what I've already painted. And I was just so afraid of doing that. And I thought about maybe putting some masking tape on it so that way I didn't have to worry about being painted. But then I was afraid if I peeled the masking tape off, it would peel the paint off too. So there was just so much that was going through my mind. And I haven't, like I said, I haven't done this before. So I just wasn't sure what really to do. And I was afraid of screwing up the progress that I've already made with this. So I was just so terrified with it, but I love the way it turned out. It has some issues here and there, some missing paint apps, and there's some stuff where it could look a little bit better, like up here at the shoulder. that could look a little bit better, like right in here. But with my limited skill and knowledge with building Gundam models, and you know, this being the first time of me ever doing anything of this kind, like, I'm actually pretty proud of myself, and I love the way this turned out, and I absolutely love it. And I can't wait to put this in my glass case with my other model kits and really have this just a part of my collection. So I am just so stoked for this. So yeah, let's go ahead and go through everything that I did with this, because I know y'all are probably really curious to know what all that I did. So this piece right here, to get these shoulders right here to work with the arms of the Mark II, I had to do a lot of like thinking to figure out how I was going to get this to work, because the shoulders on the Gundam Maxter, on the original one, it has these little notches, like these little circles, and what that does is there's a slot right here on the inside of the shoulder, and that goes over that the little circles that's on the shoulder, and it locks it in place, so you can kind of click it in and out, so you can take the shoulder off and you can connect it to the hand down here, so it looks like he's using like the boxing gloves and everything. But the shoulders on the Mark II are skinnier, so there was really no way for me to have this shoulder connect to this one without doing a whole bunch of like crazy work. And I'm pretty sure somebody more skilled than me would have been able to figure it out, but I just wasn't able to. And I don't really plan on displaying him using that feature of like using the shoulders as the boxing gloves. So as much of a bummer as it is that I can't do that, and I did lose that feature to be able to do that, but I took the shoulder connector part that's on the Mark II, because I looked at how that one connects to the chest of that Gundam, and I realized that if I put that part in here of the shoulder of the Maxter, if I glued it, I got some of that cement that you use for like the Gundam models and stuff, and so I figured that if I put that on there, I could glue it, and it kind of lines up. It kind of lines up perfectly with the shoulder pad here. So it does float a little bit, like it is a little loose, but I was able to get it to work, and so that I was really happy once I figured out that I could do that. And what I did have to do is, since the peg for the arms for this chest is like a big ball joint, and what I had to do was, the way this one connects, this arm right here doesn't connect using a ball joint. The polycap in it is for like a solid straight peg. So what I did is I took a drill bit and actually drilled the polycap to make the hole for it bigger, so that way it would fit around the ball joint right here that's on this chest piece that extends out to connect to the arm. So that's how this arm was able to use that ball joint connector to actually plug and, you know, connect to this chest piece here. And this shoulder just sits right over top of that, and so it just kind of wiggles around and everything, but it's not going to fall off. And the chest and everything for this, it's all original for the regular HG Maxter. So pretty much all the parts that I use for the HG Maxter that are original to that is the shoulders, the chest, the head, and I do have the core lander. I think that's what it's called. I do have the core lander still back there, so that's cool. But because I use the original chest, so I can take that off, and I can plug that on. So now he actually has his chest exposed. That's really cool. And that was one thing why I wanted to use this original chest. I didn't want to replace it with anything else, because I wanted it to still have that feature to where I could use that, because there may be times where I want to display him using this chest instead of this one right here, but this one does look really cool. yeah, so he does have that. This right here, the waist, was the most complicated part to figure out how I was going to get this chest piece to connect to this waist joint, so that way I could use this, because I really wanted to use this waist from the Mark II, so that way I could use the legs here, so that way I could have good range of motion here with this leg joint, so I could use these new legs from the Mark II. So I really wanted to use this whole bottom portion, because I was not a fan at all of the legs of the original HG Maxter. So I really wanted to use the new ones, and that's why I wanted to use the arms too, because I was not a fan of those arms on the original Maxter, because every time I turned them or anything, the way it connected right here at the elbow, it just kept wanting to separate, and it was so annoying. So that's why I wanted to use that. And so what I ended up doing is, just so eventually if I ever had to disassemble this again for any reason whatsoever, I wanted to be able to do so and not have to worry about trying to break apart the glue and have to deal with that whole mess. Right here, let me get, so right here, you see this line right there. So this piece right here actually is two separate pieces, and it clamps together and it holds, which is actually supposed to be this piece right here for the Mark II. Now this is the cockpit, and right, let me see it, right here is supposed to be like a big ball joint, and what that does is it would sit down, and I'm going to put some pictures up of the manual so you can kind of get an idea visually of what it is that I'm talking about. But the cockpit would sit right here, and there would be like the ball joint that would kind of come down, and then there's another polycap in the waist that will that's made for that ball joint, and so it's able to kind of snap and click into place, and it allows the chest to be able to move around, which is really cool because it's great for articulation. But I couldn't use that with this because, of course, this wouldn't fit inside of this chest piece, and this chest piece doesn't use a ball joint to connect. It's like a single, like, straight peg. And I'm gonna put pictures of all this in the video as I'm talking about it. That way, you, like I said, you get an idea visually of what it is I'm talking about, because it's kind of hard to explain some stuff sometimes. But then that's how that would connect. But I couldn't figure out how to actually get it to work, how to have the chest connect to this. So what I ended up doing is, like you see here, I cut that little ball peg off. I cut it off, and I glued it to a polycap that I had to use a drill bit again. And I drilled that polycap so that way the hole was bigger, so it would fit around this piece right here. So I put that this little ball joint right here in the polycap, glued it so that way it was nice and solid. Put it on the inside of this chest piece, and then what I did is, so that way it's able to connect this part to this part. But then for extra durability, because I wanted to make sure this thing wasn't going to fall apart if I try to twist it or anything, is I glued this piece to the chest as well. So this whole thing is pretty much all one piece now, but the back is separate. It's not glued together or anything, so I can still separate it and actually take it apart if I ever need to. So that was one thing I wanted to make sure I do, because I didn't want to glue things, seal it in, and then realize, oh crap, I got to disassemble it for some reason. And either I can't, or it's going to be a huge pain to do so. So that's how I was able to do that. But yeah, and then pretty much from here down is just a straight build of the Mark II. But of course, I did some painting to really kind of paint this up and get it to match the Gundam Maxter color scheme, and I even put the stripes right here to match the Gundam Maxter. So that's really cool. So let's go ahead and go through the articulation of this, so that way you get an idea of how this thing articulates now. So, because I'm actually curious myself, but I'm gonna do my best to be very careful with this because I don't want anything to break. So the head turns like so. It can go all the way around, but looks up that much. Looks down, but not really at all because that chin right there hits this little piece. And it does some side to side motion. Now the shoulder here. Shoulder does go all the way around. Let's see how far out this thing goes. It goes out that far. I can't get it to go out any further because you have this piece right here. And let's see. This goes in even more. That's about as far in as it's going to go. It's not going to go in any further because if you see, the arm hits that little part right there that connects the shoulder, this chest piece. But one thing that's a huge improvement is you get that nice double joint right there at the elbow. Really, really cool. All right, and right here at the hand does go all the way around. And I did use the hands from the Mark II, so there is some really nice movement right here for the hands, some nice articulation for the hands. Got the waist does turn. Just really good. I was actually a little afraid of turning the waist there because like I said, I glued it and I was just terrified the glue would like break or come off or anything. And these skirts go up, which allows the leg to go all the way up like so. And you have a nice double bend right there at that knee. Look at that. Look at that. And the way the parts move and separate as the leg is moving and articulating is just so cool. Let me put this back. Great. And one thing that I love is you have, look at that. Look at those little, like, what would you call them? Hydraulic arms. That's for the ankle joint right there. And they actually move with the ankle as you lift it up and down. And it does rock side to side. And like I showed before, there is some toe articulation right there. Man, this is so cool. And you do have some swivel right there. And the guns are connected to these small little polycaps that are right here at the waist. This down. That's all the articulation that I can think of. There might be something. Oh, and this right here from the Maxter, where he kind of uses this in the show, where this flips forward and covers over his hands, so it looks like he's kind of using like brass knuckles or something like that. They plug in on these little polycaps back there on the back. And it covers his hand. Cool. It is a little finicky. Let me put this back. But yeah, it goes on there. It is a little finicky. It does kind of fall off, but it's there and you can use it. So that's really, really cool. That was one thing I still wanted to be able to do. And of course, you have the core lander back here. If I can take this out. Go. And the core lander does still come out. it. You just put this back up. So it plugs right back in. So cool. So cool. But yeah, so this is my Gundam Maxter. Oh, and I forgot to show you. I have the shield surfboard that he uses in the show. And I didn't realize that this little part right here is actually supposed to be green. I didn't paint it green because I didn't know until I was looking. After I've already pretty much finished the kit, I looked online and I saw some pictures of it from the show, and I saw that this is green. It's been a very long time since I've seen G Gundam, but this is his little surfboard shield that he has, so that's really cool. I really love the way that this thing turned out. So cool. So cool. But yeah, so that is my Gundam Maxter. Let's go ahead and I'll show you everything that I used for this, and well, you kind of get an idea of what it took for me. And I'm going to put links to all the tools and everything that I use in the description below, so that way if you have any questions on where to find the stuff, you can look down in the description and that's where it'll be. And so of course the first thing you're going to need the HG Gundam Maxter. This is from 1994, I believe. I think is the year that it came out. But you need that model kit. And it's the 1/100 scale. I think that might be the only Gundam Maxter they ever released. I'm not sure. And then the second part that I used is the RX-178 Mark II version 2.0 Master Grade. This was the other one that I used for, like I said, the arms, the legs, and the waist. That is what I used for that. So those were the two model kits that I used to kind of bash together to make this beautiful thing. And for paint, what I used for the these little boosters right there, and the ones right here on the surfboard, those boosters, what I did is I used this right here, the acrylic gunmetal from Tamiya. That's what I used for that. And then the blue for the blue stripes, and then up here at the arms, I used the flat blue Tamiya acrylic paint. Now, I didn't know that I actually had flat blue. When I ordered these, I thought that I was ordering just regular blue. And then after I painted it, and then after it dried, I realized, like, why does it have that texture to it? And it's because it's flat blue. So that was completely by mistake. But you know what? I love the way it looks. So it was a mistake, but it turned out amazing. So I'm not disappointed by that at all. But yeah, so I did use this flat blue. And then for the red, for these parts right here that I painted on the legs and then on the arms right there, I use just the regular red X7 color, the acrylic paint from Tamiya. That's what I used for those. Now for the decals, I was really a fan of water slide decals, and I haven't used water slide decals before building this kit, because I built the Wing Gundam Verka. You can watch those videos. I have those up on my channel for when I built it, and also my review of that kit. But when I built it, and it came with two sets of decals, it had the dry transfer decals, which I really liked. I love the way that those look and everything, and the way that they work. But then it also had these like sticker style decals, and I'm not a fan of those. I don't like them. And the reason why is, you can see I used some of them on this. That's these right here, these little red ones. And if you can look and see, you can see a little bit of the outline of the decal, like the clear part. You can still see some of it, even on a bright colored part like this yellow. So all these darker parts, if I used that sticker style decal, you'd really see it, and it's hard to hide it, and I didn't like the way it looked. And I was having a little bit of difficulty finding decals that I liked, because I wanted something that was going to have like a football theme to it, because this is like a football themed Gundam. So I wanted something that was going to have like a cool look to it. So I wanted something that was going to be kind of like a mascot style, or, you know, and something that had like numbers on it and everything to give it a football look, like a team look. And I was having difficulty finding something. And then I found these right here. Let me take it out of the plastic. I got this sheet right here of these white water slide decals, and their Mecha decal is the brand. I got all of this stuff at usagundamstore.com, and so that's where I got this at. And so, like I said, I'm gonna have links to all this down in the description. But yeah, so I got this, and I didn't know how to use water slides at all. And so I looked up a video. I'm going to put a link to that as well. Any other helpful tutorial style videos that I used, I'm going to try and put those in the description. So there's going to be a lot of stuff in the description. Any useful information that I feel like would be good for anyone to know, I'm putting that all down there. That way y'all will all have that information. But I looked up some tutorials on how to use these, and sure enough, I started off with something small, put it on a part, turned out really good, and I love it. I love water slide decals. They're a little bit trickier to use than just regular dry transfers or the sticker style, but that little bit of extra work on the water slides really makes a huge improvement. It's definitely worth it to use water slides, in my opinion. I love the way that they look, and they just turned out so good. So yeah, these are the decals that I used. And then for setting them, I used Mr. Mark Setter to set the decals in and seal them, so that way they wouldn't peel up or anything. And for panel lining, I use this panel line accent color. And this is really cool because it has a little, I don't want to get anything on my mat here, but it has like a little applicator brush right there. And so it has the ink on it. You dip the brush in the ink, and all you do is you just will dab it on the line of the part that you're trying to panel line, like this right here. You just dab it right in that line, and the whole line will fill with the ink automatically. Like, it's just magic the way it works. It's so cool and it's so easy. And yeah, I love it. And all you do is once you let it sit, you let it dry. Then once it dries, you just take a little cotton swab and you just dip it in a little bit of lighter fluid. I know it's going to sound weird, but yeah, lighter fluid. You just dip a little bit in that, and you just lightly rub across the part. And what that does is it just removes the panel line ink, if there's any that kind of got over the part, like outside of the line that you want to clean up. You just rub it over it just gently, and it cleans it all up, and it leaves a nice clean line, and it looks amazing. And yeah, I think that, oh, and then for top coat, I did use the Mr. Hobby top coat. Oh, and then primer. I'm gonna have a picture up of the primer that I use. I can't remember the brand. I'll have to go find it. So I am blown away by this. It's amazing. I love the way this kit turned out. Definitely worth all the work. And I wanted to do this because I don't think they're ever gonna do a master grade of this. I really don't. And if they do, it's not going to be for a long time from now, more than likely. But I don't think that they're going to do a master grade. I don't think they're going to do because I love 1/100 scale kits, and I don't think they're going to do a 1/100 scale kit of the Gundam Maxter. I would love to be proven wrong, because if they do, I'll buy it. Even though I have this one and I put a lot of work into this one, like, I'll still buy it. So yeah, I just don't think that they're going to do one anytime soon. And so yeah, I wanted to just kind of do one on my own. And plus, there was a picture that I saw on Instagram that I was just scrolling through one day. I saw this picture of somebody else that did something similar to this. They had their own Gundam Maxter kit bash kit that they put together, and they made it, and it looks way better than mine. But as soon as I saw it, I loved it, and I was like, I want to do something like that so bad. And so what I ended up doing, I ended up figuring out a way to do my own. I went on the USA Gundam store, website and I scrolled through their master grades and I tried to find something that had similar arms and legs to the regular Gundam Maxter, but also wouldn't require too much painting or too much work to really get it to look and fit with this Gundam Maxter kit. So I found the Gundam Mark II, the version 2.0 master grade, and everything looked like it would fit with this. All I had to do was put a little bit of paint on it. Most of it was already white, so I didn't have to do too much. So that was really what I was looking for. That is the Gundam Maxter. Let's go ahead and get into the size comparison. I want to compare him to some other master grades that I have and some other figures and everything, and get an idea, and also get him in some cool poses, and so we can get some cool shots of him. So let's go ahead and get into the size comparison. All right, let's go. All right, and here we are at the size comparison. And as we pull the measuring tape up, looks like the Gundam Maxter standing just above 7 inches tall. In my first comparison, I wanted to bring in the Master Grade Gundam Epyon just to see how this model kit looks standing next to another Master Grade. And he is slightly taller than Gundam Epyon, but he looks so cool standing next to him. And for the next size comparison, I wanted to bring in the Gundam Universe God Gundam. And he towers over God Gundam here. I mean, the Gundam Universe line does run smaller than Master Grade Gundam, so he is a lot bigger than the God Gundam, so I'm definitely going to have to get another Master Grade or a 1/100 scale God Gundam to go with him. And next up is the Voyager class Optimus Primal from Hasbro. And again, just like the God Gundam, he is towering over Optimus Primal. And next, I wanted to bring in a 6-inch scale figure. So here is the Lightning Collection Ryu Power Ranger. And lastly, I wanted to bring in something a little bit smaller. So here is the SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider 01. Alright, so this is my custom Gundam Maxter Master Grade. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. This kit was so much fun to build, and I learned so much in this process. It took a really long time for me to do this. It took about a month from start to finish with building the HG Gundam Maxter, figuring out what parts I wanted to replace and how to replace them, buying the master grade that would give me the arms and legs and the parts that I would need to really boost up the original Gundam Maxter model and make it something unique and amazing. So I had to do research there, buy it, waiting for shipping, getting the paint and supplies, and then looking up guides and how-to tutorial videos on YouTube. So it took a lot of time for me to do this, but it was all worth it in the end. I love this kit. I am really proud of this, and I would love to do another one sometime, but I'm going to take a break from doing these custom builds like this. But yeah, this was so much fun. Like I said, I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something too. And I hope that y'all will go out there and kind of practice and build your own custom stuff. I mean, that's the whole fun thing about model kits, is just putting your own creativity on a plastic kit and seeing something amazing come to life. So I'm DudeRetro. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.